Hi guys. Recently I watched a video. I want to say the name of the video was things we use as art supplies that weren't intended to be used as art supplies. And I know that this was a tag that I wanted to participate in because I do that often myself. And I feel like it would help people that want to get into art and think that they have to spend a lot of money on purchasing art supplies. It'll help you realize that you may have more than what you think you have, that you can start participating in art practice with. So I'll slowly pull out a few things and begin to show you some of the things that I use as art supplies that were not intended to be used as art supplies. So first up, I have items here such as jars that I have repurposed, yogurt cups, and mugs. Okay, so this mug my was purchased for me by my daughter-in-law, but I'll use mugs to house things such as paint brushes. This one right here, I have um little ice cream sticks that I've saved, and these can be reused for stuff like stirring paints or different things like that. This is like a tape tube, an old tape tube. So I'll use things like mugs, old jars, just clean them, take the labels off of them, and use them for your water jars. When you're painting, you put your water in them, or if it's you're all painting, you can use them for solvents. And also they can be used to house things like your paint brushes and pens. I have pens in here. This old spray bottle. This is a spray bottle that is used to fill up like a perfume sample bottle, or even deodorizing samples or something like that. So you can use this to put your water in and spray your papers. And I also have like my little pipette in here. So simple kitchen items. All of these are kitchen items, and those things like that can be used as far as your painting goes. Also, notice that I have this little mat here on my desk. This mat was one of the mats that it was a toilet rack, the racks that you put behind your toilet, the wire racks that you put behind your toilet. This was the mat that kept items from falling in between the little grooves that's on the rack. But my purpose for that rack, and I regret not showing that to you all before I moved out of my other apartment, my purpose for that rack sorry about that, I caught dust in my throat. So my purpose for that rack was I had it set up as a art supply storage rack in my old washroom in my other apartment. And this had maybe 2 or 3 of these mats on it, and I put this one on my desk because it helps with when I'm watercoloring. It helps to shield my desk from getting paint on it or any unwanted things that I want on my desk that I might not want on my desk. So also, things that I tend to use are things like these tin cans. I like to save tins. This was a candy tin here. And this is a tin. I'm not exactly sure what this tin was for, but it's one that I thrifted. and I use this one. This one just houses my kneaded eraser. This one, these tins here, I'll use to house most likely watercolor paints, or this one I may store cotton with solvents or something in it so I could dip my brush in it. I haven't totally decided yet, but these were both candy tins, and I hold on to items like that to store things as well. So up next, I'm quite proud of these, my cute little flask. This is my donut flask, and this is my lipstick flask. I also have a banana flask, but I don't have that one with me right now. It may be a little, just a slightly bigger than this lipstick one, but I use these to put water in to travel with. Now, of course, it's going to make your bag maybe unnecessarily heavy, but I just think that they're cute, and I like using them as part of my art supplies. And most of the time I don't travel a lot when painting, so they're right in my desk. So if I want to, this one has water in it right now. If I need water, I'll just take it, open it up, and pour it into whatever I'm using at the time in order to, why did my light go out? Yeah, a few technical difficulties. I'm not sure why, but we're going to keep going. But I normally don't travel with them. They are heavy. They're a metal flask, and I like them because they're cute, and I like cute stuff to use as art supplies. So up next, I have this cute little coffee sugar and creamer set, and I purchased little spray bottles. These are travel spray bottles that I keep water in, and I keep it inside of here. I also keep my paint brushes in here, and I often store water in here to paint with as well. Sometimes I may use this to pour water into to paint with, but often I'll just use one of my jars that I showed you guys that I do repurpose to paint with. So I thought this was really cute, and I did not want to just limit its life using it as a coffee set. It looks so much better on my desk. It came with a spoon as well, and with my creative mind, I'll find something artistic to use the spoon for, or maybe I'll just use the spoon at my desk when I'm eating my yogurt. But I thought this was the cutest thing to use as a stationery set for my watercolor paintings. So up next are the little porcelain trays that I use. This is also a kitchen item. This could have been a chopsticks tray. I'm not sure because of how thin it is. I'm not sure what it was for, but I thrifted it, and I don't even think I paid $1 for this tray. But as you can see, I use it to house paintbrushes, ink pens, and extra stuff like that. And this is also another tray, also thrifted, and I want to say I purchased this one for $1, and I use this one as a watercolor palette. I try to use this one for just my basic primary colors. It has I'm trying to see which, I think this is ultramarine blue, maybe cadmium red. I can't think of each color that's in here right now. I want to say it's some of my Winsor and Newton paints, but this is a sauce tray from it, and it was from Royal Market originally, but I purchased this one for $1, and it makes an awesome paint palette. So here I have a little vase here, and this is something else that I use to house paintbrushes, scissors. I have a calligraphy pen here, several different styles of calligraphy pens. I have some wooden ones in here, pencils. Alexa, stop. I'm baking my daughter some cookies. Hold 1 second. Okay, it has my bookmarks, which I have not began using yet, and my quill pen, my feather pen. I love this pen, and this was an item from a gift from my son and my daughter-in-law as well. But this is just a ceramic vase, pottery vase. This is also really heavy, and this was a thrifted item as well. So getting into some of my storage boxes that I have up here. This one was a really nice sturdy box. I cannot remember what I received in this box, but I just loved how sturdy it was, and I love how it blends with the black for my desk stand. And I keep like my highlighters. Sometimes I have more batteries than this in here, and mechanical pencil refills and eraser refills. Things like that are kept in here. This was another little box. This was a thrifted item. Not sure what it was originally used for, but I use it to house my inks, and these are my Coico ink refills. And I have several packs of these in here. And this old Sucrets candy. This is really, really old. I've been having this for years. But I used this as a paint palette at one time. And this is the paints, Daniel Smith paints here that I was using in it. And it also has a few paper clips in the bottom of it, but that's what this one is for. And this one, get these out the way. This big one here is a wine box, and I just took all of the wine accessories. I took them out. And I have little cute jars that I like to use to paint with in there. This is ink that I use for my dip pens. This is a glue stick that I keep in here. More inks are in here. One of my favorite pencil sharpeners. This was one of my son's old spin toys that I keep in there. This, I love postal stuff, so this is one of my most favorite stamps that I ever had, so I try to keep this stamp with me a lot at all times. And this is mechanical pencil refills, erasers. This is the colorful, I have a colorful mechanical pencil. I have highlighters in here. More spray bottles and other little random items in there. but this one is a wine box. So I'm hoping I solved the lighting issue, guys. I had my ring light plugged into this little plug here, and I don't think the plug liked this one very much. I mean, the ring light liked this one very much because I noticed it was warm. So I switched it out to a better box. And also in putting my things away, I noticed that this, if you look close, it says Relic Authentic. So I don't know what this box originally was, but I thought I would show that. And I will get ready to show you the next items. Okay, I have a few more storage items here. This is another item that I thrifted. This could possibly have once served as a canister that may have had a lid or something on it. I'm not sure. But as you can see, it houses my paintbrushes. This is a little tiny canister, and in this one, I keep all of my extra paint pans, and I have little bands that can be placed on books, like traveler's notebook style. These bands could be used for that. This is a converter, an ink pen converter. I have magnets in here for the paint pans, just in case I decide to use magnets to stick them inside of some of my tins. Velcro strips, that's what's kept inside of here. And this is a index card holder, and inside of here I keep all of my tubes of paint. I have several tubes of paint, and I have a few paint pans as well. So all of my extra paint pans that cannot fit inside of some of my paint palettes, I keep in here, along with my watercolor paint tubes. So up next, I have this wine box. It is a little big to put in frame. I may take a picture of it further back so you can see it in its entirety at one time. But this was another thrifted item which I purchased with intended use. It's empty right now, but my intended use for it is art storage. So up next, I have here a few pouches that were originally intended to be used as makeup pouches and little wrist pouches as purses, and I use them for storage of some supplies, and I make art kits out of them. So if I do travel, I like to be able to have something that's ready to go, and this one houses my portable palette. I'm gonna check on my bird, see what's wrong with her. Hopefully the problem was she could hear me talking, but she could not see me. So I began by saying I have my portable painter here. I lost my hook for it, but I often put a rubber band on it, and also keeping it inside of this pouch helps keep it together. My travel water bottle, my travel brush, and my teenager. Okay, so I have my portable brushes here, and a few other items, mechanical pencil, sharpener, ink pens, some of my favorite pens to use for art, Muji. I love these pens, but they're not really waterproof. This is the Staedtler Tri-Plus fine liner. They're not really waterproof, but I love writing with these pens. And I have my blending stumps in this pouch. Okay, this is another one that I use as a travel art supply case, and it has, I made a portable paint palette out of this tin, and this was originally a gift card tin, but I turned it into a paint palette, and in it I have my Lucas watercolors. I have a sponge here. This was an old perfume bottle that I used to spray my paint, spray my paint paper. And I have 2 of the small Winsor & Newton brushes in here. If I can't get it out, I have this one and the little tiny one here. And I love this palette. I don't know if I love the watercolors yet, because I have not really, I made this palette a while ago, but I never fell in love with the Lucas watercolors. I guess maybe because I haven't used them enough. I also keep watercolor paper in here, cut to size to fit inside of this pouch. I have a notebook in here, and just these little colorful note cards. I use these for photos, photo backgrounds and things like that. But that's what's in there. And these 2 just house just a lot of whatnot stuff, but some things that for art and writing, as far as these are concerned. And staying on the course with the pouches, I have here my Delphonics pouches, and I do have an old video where you can look and see all of my Delphonics pouches. I may link that in the bottom of this video, but this one, my very well used pouch, I'm not using it as much anymore. Delphonics pouches are originally meant to be used as utility pouches. Delphonics pouches are really meant to use as like carpenter's utility pouches, but I along with other artists fell in love with these for art supplies because they can store so many items. This one, like I said, I have, you can see it is well loved. This is like the original color of it, and even that may be a little faded, but I'm not using this one as much anymore. Just have like a toothbrush for paint splattering in here. But this one has some of my best watercolor tins in it, and I will show that to you. These are my gems here. That's why I keep them by themselves. Oh yeah, it's the pouch that keeps them separated. I keep them in several pouches, but I don't like them to rub together. So, and this is my Schminke palette. Here. And Sennelier palette. And I keep those inside of these Delphonics pouches. Up next, I have this. I feel like it's a unique idea. With my mechanical pencils, I tend to keep my shavings, and I put them inside of this old Carmex tin, because there is such a thing as graphite, loose graphite, and I just collect my own loose graphite and keep it inside of here. And once I've sharpened my pencils, I empty the shavings right into this little Carmex container. And last but not least for now, and that's simply because I don't want the video to be too long, this is a Welly first aid kit, and this one is going to be an art possibility. It actually still has the first aid items in it, but I intend to take these out and put them inside of my homemade first aid kit and use this one as another travel art palette. So I hope I was able to inspire you to look around your own home to see what items you may already have that you can use as art supplies yourself. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, thank you so much for watching.